Hi, I'm Danny O'Neill, Bean Baron of the Roasterie. The inspiration for the Roasterie really started when I was a senior in high school. We had an AFS student come over from Australia, and I thought how cool it would be to live in another country like that. So I signed up just on a total whim. I had never been on a plane, never been traveling anywhere outside of my hometown without family. And February of my senior year, I packed up my bags and went to live in Costa Rica for a year. And then while in Costa Rica, I went to coffee picking with my friends. Several people were going to go work in pineapple fields, other people were going to work in bananas. And so working on the farms just sounded fun. So anyway, 11 of us piled into this really tiny little old Toyota Jeep and went up to the side of Volcan Poas volcano and went coffee picking. And at the time I didn't even drink coffee, but the whole experience, I just loved it. It was up on the top of the mountain, fresh air. We had so much fun. It was just a mesmerizing experience. And of course it was a huge turning point, or would later be a turning point in my life, although at the time I didn't know that. After a year I came back to the United States and went to undergrad at Iowa State, and then got off into sales and marketing and spent about 10 years at corporate. And the last couple of years I was doing my MBA at Rockhurst, and went to Russia a couple different times and to help them transition from basically from communism to a market economy. And that experience also really affected me, and it just made me realize I needed to do something different. I saw the life in the Russians that I felt like I used to have, but the corporate world, not an anti-corporate person, but the corporate world I felt was just draining that out of me, and it was my time to do something different. And the only thing I could think of to do was coffee. And my friends were mocking me because they were thinking, yeah, teasing me, try to make a living out of coffee. Well, I did. I just went everywhere I could to study coffee and research it, and went coast to coast many times, went back down to Central America a couple times, and just learning everything I could about coffee. And so I came upon the Civets Air Roasters in Eugene, Oregon, and after tasting that coffee, I knew I needed to have that air roasted, or technically it's called fluid bed. But the taste profile was just so profound and so unique. It was so clean and smooth and mellow and non-bitter. I ordered a roaster and had it delivered to my house, and of course it wouldn't fit, so I had to have the frame sawed in half and had it put down in my basement, and started roasting coffee and just knocking on doors. And I'd only lived in Kansas City for a couple of years and really didn't know very many people, so it was, I refer to those, they were exciting days, but they were also very dark days. At the beginning, it took several months before we sold any coffee. When I say we, it was my dog and I. Finally, in December of '93, I started making a few sales, and we have just about every one of those customers right now that are still in business. And then by the second month, we started getting really busy, and a typical day might be I'd get up at 7, go deliver all the coffee that I'd packed the night before, make sales calls until 5 or 6 p.m., and then come back home, start roasting coffee and packing it. And that took, at the end, it took till 4 o'clock in the morning. Then I'd get back up at 7 and I'd go do it all again. And then on Saturday, I'd be out in a grocery store someplace handing out cups of coffee. And then on Sundays, I'd do charity events and get the name out, handing out cups of coffee that way again too. Then I went to the airport on March 6th to get Norman Kilman, Stormy Normie, our bean browner. And I still say with a lot of honesty that if he wouldn't have been on that flight, I think I would have kept going and not come back, because I was so physically and mentally drained that I couldn't have done it anymore. But lo and behold, there was Normie, March 6th of 1994 at the airport. And so Normie and I then were working, and we'd come up at 9 or 10 o'clock at night and be finished instead of 4 in the morning. And I used to just feel invigorated, like I could go run or get another job. I had so much time on my hands, I didn't know what I was going to do. But soon we were both working till 1 or 2 in the morning. We did that in the house for about 8 or 9 months. And then July 10th of 1994, we moved to our first building at 1519 Cherry. And we thought it was like the Taj Mahal. It was like 1,000 feet or 2,000 square feet. And I thought, oh my God, we'll never use all this space. And after 8 or 9 months, we filled it up, and then we lasted about a year and 6 months. And then we moved to 2601 Madison. And we were there for about 10 years. And that was a lovely place. We just loved that. We have a sign on the side of our building next to I-35. And then we moved to our current location in 2006. The idea really is to find something that's sustainable. We spend a lot of time on environmental sustainability, but it really doesn't make any sense if it's divorced or separated from financial or economic sustainability. At the end of the day, people are going to do what they need to do to take care of their kids and their family. So our idea has always been to find the best coffee that we can find in the world, and then help people in that area, wherever that is, with whatever they need. We try to do it in a really non-imperialistic way, in that we don't tell them what we're going to do for them. We try to find out and ascertain what they need, and then by purchasing their coffee and giving some amount per pound back for us, whether they need to clean up a stream or dig a well, build a preschool, whatever they need. And then they're intertwined. They have an economic self-interest to continue to produce outstanding world-class coffee. We have an economic self-interest to pay higher prices for that, and then our customers will pay a higher price, knowing that they're going to get the best coffee they can find in the world, and some of the money is going back into the community that helped raise it. So it just makes a lot of sense. You know, giving back locally, again, we feel we have this incredible opportunity in this country and this community to be able to start a company and have wonderful community support. So we don't really look at it as like charity. We feel it just kind of completes the circle. So it's really easy to say yes. And all of us have been touched in the company by all these different things that we donate to. My father died of cancer. My sister had a brain tumor. Another sister has arthritis. My mother had breast cancer. On and on and on. All of us are touched by all these different things, whether it's our own family or if it's a neighbor or a friend. So it's really easy. Kansas City is just known for being very generous, being giving. We're following other people's leads like Henry Block and Ewing Kaufman and Barnett Hellsberg. So we just jump in and we say yes, we have fun. A lot of our social lives really revolve around the different charity events we do in the community, fundraising, and it's a ton of fun, makes sense. If I'm in another country, another area of the country that maybe somebody doesn't know about us, and they say, well, what are you guys about? Why do you exist? It's really simple. There's 3 key principles, and they have not changed one bit since I basically wrote it in July of 1993, about half a year before we started the company. Number 1, we're about finding the best coffee in the world, period. Best coffee that exists on the planet. And then roasting it the best way known to mankind, and then getting it to the customer as fast as humanly possible. And that's really it. And then to help people in the communities along the way where the coffee is grown, where we sell the coffee, where our staff lives and works. That's really what it is. We hope you enjoy the tour, have a lot of fun, ask all the questions you can, learn, and drink lots of Roasterie coffee and espresso while you're here.